I'm back. I might use my indoor voice a little bit only because once again I do live with people. This video is kind of a little bit different where it's more of me showing my plants. I have a bunch of other plants over there that you can't see. I wanted to show my plants only because I am starting to become a plant person. I have a lot of plants. You guys can give me some advice or suggestions about any of these plants. Some of these plants are a little bit harder to get used to, and then some plants are just dead. I am trying to recover them only because they are my babies, and I feel like when I get attached to something, I don't want to let go. My lashes do look a little bit chaotic. This is the newest addition of my plant family. I did get her at Petco. She was in water in a little bowl. I'm going to show you with another plant that I got. She is the first plant with the first colors other than green in it. Surprisingly, I haven't overwatered her or killed her yet. Supposedly Petco sells plants, and I had no clue that they sell plants. I was passing Petco and then I was like, oh look, this plant is so cute. All of them were dead. I feel like they didn't change the water. I feel like they did not clean the plants, and the craziest part is that the most of the plants that were there says not recommended for animals. Please don't tell me my dog's gonna start playing with this toy. This is, I don't know, I can never say this name. If this can freaking focus. That's the type of plant. She has a little bit of pink here. The stem from the bottom is pink as well. I love the color. I love how natural she looks. The next plant that I have is a ponytail tree. This tree has put me through hell and back. I can never get it to survive, so if any of you guys have any tips on how to take care of this plant, that would be amazing. My boyfriend did buy it because he was like, oh, I like this plant. Then he gave it to me to take care of. So I believe this is not in my expertise level. All the ends are brown. Plant is brown. And then all from here is brown. I haven't watered any of my plants because I knew I wanted to film all my plants. The small little plants are starting to grow. The ones that were old, they're just not, this plant is not it. I feel like this plant is so hard to take care of. This is my favorite plant. Me and my boyfriend call this plant Spidey. Spidey has been with me as my first pet. I actually had another spider plant. That spider plant died. I'll explain why. When I first bought my two first plants, it was a spider plant and then the other plant that I had there. My boyfriend decided he knows how to water plants. He knows what's best for the plants, and he knows how to take care of plants. So I'm like, okay, cool, take care of it. They're dead. So I had to throw out the spider plant. I didn't throw out the other plant. I actually have it behind me. I refused to throw it in the garbage. It just started growing a new leaf. So we bought a new one. He apologized. He said, you could take care of the plants because I don't know how to take care of it. The spider plant is thriving, as you can tell. It does have some old ends, but that's just pretty normal when it comes to a lot of plants. This plant is the one that made it through the midlife crisis. Look. This plant is not supposed to look like this. It's the only thing that I don't know. I do have an app on my phone that does tell me, so if I'm at Lowe's or Home Depot and I want to know what type of plant it is, because sometimes they'll just sell the plant to just sell it, I always like to know what type of plant I'm buying. This is the app that I use. It's very simple. I'll take a picture of it and then it'll scan it and it'll give you a whole bunch of little information. This plant was in this thing and then this thing was in that thing, but then I switched it because I know this one's gonna die. This plant is a, I can never say the name, I'll type it. The Bonsai. You don't really have to put a lot of effort towards it. It's very simple, beginner plant. I personally like using it. I bought one for my boss when she first opened up her shop. And the living is thriving. What I like to do sometimes is that I like to drench the plant completely underwater and then drain it so it can be really saturated, the soil, because sometimes when you do water the plant from only on top, it doesn't actually water the whole plant. Or you could do bottom watering that I've seen a lot of people do, where they put the container underneath with water, they put the pot in it, and it will just absorb all the water the plant of whatever the plant needs, instead of like stressing about how much water you're putting into the actual plant. This one doesn't have a pretty container on it. I just leave it in like that. Oh, you see a little bit of root. That means I have to change the pot because it's starting to wrap around, which is no bueno. I don't know if you guys know what the name of this plant is. It's very intriguing. I was gonna cut it, but the fullness of the plant isn't gonna be there. The famous lily plant. I bought myself one only to try to keep it alive. I think I am going to convert it to just living in water instead of living in one of like soil. I've seen that all over TikTok to see, because these plants are a pain in the ass to maintain. Too much work. Like these plants need constant attention. It's absolutely insane how a plant needs more attention than me wanting attention on a regular day. This is the Heartleaf Plant. I got it on clearance. It was not like this at all. This plant was like, I would say like this short, I guess, and it had like a bunch of white stuff. Like this leaf had like a bunch of random, like, I think it was like compound or paint. I bought it from Lowe's. I saw that it was like $2.99, and I was like, I'm gonna buy that and I'm going to try to fix that plant. And this is when my plant obsession started, with just buying plants that need help, and you could say that they are a cry for help. And I wanted to learn, I wanted to experience how it is to fix a plant. But she's growing a lot. I've always wanted one of these hanging plants that I can just hang up and then she'll just grow, or just keep in this, like, not in a pot, I guess you can say, and pin it up on the wall so it'll look all cute and aesthetically pleasing. This type of plant is very easy to take care of. They're simple. If you forget to water them for one day, they won't die on you like the lily plant. The lily plant will just act like the world is ending if you do forget to water them. A lot of them are growing, as you can tell, so hopefully she's thriving. This is there. I know some people that like to see the fullness instead of the open gaps, so you'll pick and choose. I bought this plant from a small business, which her name was Wendy. She is one of my clients. I do her facials every time. She gave me one of these plants, more like I supported her small business. It's always good to support small businesses. I don't know where she gets these plants, and she just sells them, and I'm like, gimme. This is called a Swiss cheese plant. I couldn't find this plant anywhere. She was the only one that I knew that sold it. I know you can order it off of like another website or whatever. Her name is Wendy Nooks, I believe, off of Instagram. Wendy Nook Plants. I love her plants that she does sell. I want to buy every one of them, but I'm still learning how to get comfortable with taking care of these plants and getting adjusted to the plants, more like the plants getting adjusted to me. It's a balance between both plants. The reason why I like getting plants in the room is only because it gives the room color, it gives the room aesthetic pleasing, it gives the room vibrant. And every time that I'm sad, I'll look at my plants, I'll take care of them. I'm more of a person that likes to take care of people, so when I saw that, you know, these plants wanted my love and affection, I put it 100% towards them. With this plant right here, this plant was with a succulent, a money tree, and this plant all in one pot. I didn't like how crowded it looked. I mean, it's always nice to have plants right next to each other, but how is this supposed to grow with a succulent supposed to grow with a money tree? Those plants don't mix right. I do realize that I've been putting just regular soil into the pots. I should buy wood chips, and I believe they're like little white pebbles. I know I have to buy that because I feel like I've been overwatering my plants when I know I'm not overwatering. They're just not draining properly. I don't have the name of this plant, so we're gonna do this app. That I am not sponsored by this app, but I will put the link in the bio. So we take a picture of it. This plant is called supposedly the Devil's Ivy, Taro Vein, Cillian Creeper, Ivy, don't know what that name is. This plant is my money tree. I did have a couple leaves die on me, but it's weird because those leaves were just 3 leaves that grew out, and that's how it was. I don't know what else to say. This is my favorite plant. It's just like the easiest one that I'm growing right now. I know it's good luck, so fingers crossed it actually helps. And those are all my plants, aka not really, because I have a snake plant, but I'm just too lazy to grab the snake plant. So that is my snake plant back there. Hopefully, you know, people will actually help me in the comment section. I need help with how to take care of some of these plants because I do want to actually make them very green, very living, very thriving, to see how they are. I will come out with new content hopefully once a week, if not every 2 weeks, if not once a month, if not every 3 months. And if you guys have any other type of content that you guys want to see or anything interesting, just leave a comment below. I love talking about plants, I love talking about nature, I love talking about astrology, I love talking about how to get these plants in a better state. I will be trying my best to be posting once a week or maybe once a month, God knows what. I know a lot of people are asking me to post more, and that's like kind of really exciting. If you like this video, comment, like, and subscribe. The classic YouTube outro in the world. There's nothing really else to say but like, comment, and subscribe. You're gonna enjoy the rest of my content. I promise I will start posting more. I love posting, I love editing, I love enjoying to talk to the camera. I just need ideas to film myself doing. These plants give me joy, these plants give me love, give me energy, and I hope it gives you back the love and energy as well through a camera lens. Bye.